Hello and welcome back to Deep Dive into Phonetic Reading with Silent Elephant E, Part 4. This is Part 4. Part 1 was intro and how we learn and how dyslexics learn. Part 2 was getting into what you are getting, what it's about for you and how it's set up. Part 3 went into deeper there where I was showing you how an actual book is set up for you, the phonics books 3 through 14, how you have everything there for you. Everything tells you exactly what you need to do the whole way, so you don't have to worry about how to teach it. It's all there for you. And then on top of that, if it feels confusing, you contact us. You call us or you text us or you email us. So let's go into now the sequence that you would be teaching. First off, you're going to assess, and we talked about your assessments. You assess, and your younger children, you're always going to probably go into phonemic awareness first. But if your child is struggling in any way, chances are probably 100% they do not have phonemic awareness. If they're struggling with spelling, it's phonemic awareness. You go there first and you assess them. And if you're concerned about that, contact Linda and she can do an assessment for you. Okay, let's look at phonemic awareness, because that's part 1. Because phonemic awareness, that understanding, what is phonemic awareness? That understanding is of that words are broken up into pieces and it has meaning. So the sounds in the words we put together for meaning. So it's sound to meaning. It doesn't have anything to do with letters. We don't have words on pages. It's all about sound and understanding sound. And this is very difficult for our dyslexics, because that part of their brain, that three-dimensional part of the brain, puts it all together as one thing. They will think cat is one sound. They don't hear cat. They hear one sound, cat. But the same thing goes for rhinoceros or hippopotamus or tyrannosaurus. It's all one sound to them. So phonemic awareness with Phonetic Reading with Silent Elephant E is a deep, deep dive into understanding sound and meaning, understanding phonemic awareness. They come away with knowledge of sound to meaning. It's not a quick dive into it, it's a deep dive, and this is extremely important for all of our dyslexics. An example is the 42-year-old man who has struggled all his life, who decided he had had enough of it, found Silent Elephant E and Linda. She is tutoring him now, and when she assessed him, even though he's a successful businessman, he doesn't have phonemic awareness. And when he started, and he had to start at the beginning, because that's where you start. He's starting over, and he's giving himself that freedom of starting over. He is understanding this in his mind, and he's kind of shocked that he did not understand the sounds differences. With Phonetic Reading with Silent Elephant E, you're going to be playing games with them. You're going to be playing sound games with them. They're going to be using color, and they're going to be using movement, and they're going to be listening. They're going to be developing a deep critical listening talent, you want to say, a deep critical listening understanding. They're going to listen to you very carefully, and they're going to be hearing what you are saying, and then they're going to say it back to you. They're going to do it with the games, and they're going to do 47 lessons. This is what I mean about a deep, deep dive into understanding sound and meaning, phonemic awareness. They have a deep dive in there. Now, at the same time you're doing phonemic awareness, this deep dive into phonemic awareness, you're also going to be teaching them their handwriting, especially if they're young, or if they're struggling with handwriting, I would start over and teach it this way. I would love you to think of handwriting as art, because when you think of handwriting as art and you introduce it to them, your dyslexics in particular, as art, now their brain has it in a whole different place. It is thinking about it differently. So introduce it in those big ways where you're painting the letters and you're always, here's key thing, always connecting sound to the letter, not the letter name. Don't worry about the letter names ever. Well, sooner or later. But you're teaching sound to the letter. So as they're painting that big A letter, they're saying the A sound. Also, and this is key for your dyslexics and all your children, teach them those connecting movements as they are learning to paint them, as they are doing it in finger paints, as they are doing it however big, broad understanding of how the letters are formed, where then you're bringing it down, 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 down until they are writing them on paper. But you don't ever start it writing on paper. Think art, then you're bringing it down to that art on paper. As you are teaching them that sound that goes with that letter, think about how you are saying the sounds. Be very careful. And this is going back to that phonemic awareness. Think of how you say the letter, I'm going to use that, ba. If you say ba, you're actually saying two sounds. You're saying ba, ba, and You're giving a U sound, short U sound, onto b sound, b sound. B. That's probably a trickier one to do, but it's like k or k or k for C. It doesn't have that U sound on it, so be careful when you're saying them not to add that U sound on the letter as you are teaching it to them and as you are doing phonemic awareness. One of my favorite videos that we have is of one of our homeschool moms, and she was working with her daughter and doing a video for us, and they were working with the word bag. She was 5 years old and she's writing bag, and she's listening to it. And mom was saying the letter slowly for herself, but mom had forgotten, and she was saying ba, a, ga. Well, this little one just kind of stopped, and she just listened and stopped and listened. And you could see that she was confused because she had gone through phonemic awareness. She knew the sounds, and she knew she was hearing 4 sounds, and that bag only had 3 letters because she already knew that part. And she was confused. And it was really fun to watch her thinking that out. And finally, mom said, wait a minute. It's not ba, it's b-a-ga. So from phonemic awareness and getting that solid, they've written, they're learning to write all their letters and everything. And then you can start at some point in time, when they get moving along here, you'll know, and you can ask us if you're concerned about it, when they're starting to put words on paper where they're starting phonics. In other words, they can start part 3, which is short vowels. When they start part 3 in short vowels, one of the things for you to always realize and know, be relaxed in, is that everything is going to be taught in a simple to complex way. That everything in the phonics is simple to complex, like starting with short vowels. It's moving methodically, simple to complex, very consistent formats, very predictably, very sequential. Those are very important things for every single one of our children, but our dyslexics, that's vital for them. Everything that they're doing must be predictable. It's like those worksheets are predictable. They know that they're bringing the color. They know they're bringing the illustrations. There's never anything vague. And the last thing I want to say as we complete part 4 is there are no hurries. In phonetic reading with silent elephante, there are no hurries. Getting those neural pathways solid is the name of the game. See you, part 5.